how are you? So my angle is horrible. Literally, I put my phone up there, adjusted it, go to sit down, and the whole thing goes bloop, and the whole like ring part itself fell off of the stand that it's attached to. So thankfully I have another one, because actually 2 people bought me the same exact one within like a week of each other. So I had to like go run in the closet and pull it out and put it together real quick. But we are here. And this morning my computer was giving me the blue screen of death. I was just like, oh my God, Mercury retrograde is over. What are you doing to me? Stop it. So, hey, Sana. Hi, Riz. Hi, Ronette. Hi, Hannah. Hi, Donna. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Dee. Hi, Happy Bird. Hey, Lindsay. Hi, Caitlin. Hi, Komika. Hi, Preston. And hi, Plickdol. How is everybody? Welcome, Lynn. I'm glad you guys were here. Sorry about that. You know, I'm like literally like on time to a T otherwise. But shit happens sometimes, and at least we had another one. So just ignore the kind of shitty angle right now. Hey, Can. How are you, babe? Oh, hi, Donna. I don't know if I said your name earlier. Yes, remember to like the video. As Happy Bird said, YouTube will not be charging your credit card for a like or a follow. So how is everybody? How are you guys all doing? So, oh my gosh, I feel like a lot has happened. I'm trying to remember everything because I got so flustered with like, oh my God, the light broke and I gotta hurry up and like get on live. Oh, are you interested in buying Beyonce's perfume? Because I saw that it was announced earlier that she's releasing one. I saw some people saying that the top note is cinnamon, and I was like, that could be horrible or kind of interesting. Like, I like cinnamon, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I want to walk around smelling like a red hot. So, I mean, hopefully there's other stuff to balance it out, but I'm not really into the like gourmand type scents myself. I'm more of like a either complete florals with like usually like a heavy base or heavy top notes of rose, or something that's more like earthy, musky, like cedarwood, sandalwood, patchouli, like those kinds of scents. I feel like I like all scents but gourmand scents. Like, I don't like burning vanilla candles in my house. I don't like smelling like a cupcake. It's just too much for me. The first perfume, called Heat, smelled like lightly scented water. I saw other people saying that the first one smelled like old lady, like it was like a white diamonds, you know, Elizabeth Taylor type of fragrance. I don't know if I ever smelled Heat now that I think about it. Oh, the Sol de Janeiro perfume. I had the body spray, and oh my God, it did not last. And it wasn't super my jam because it has that kind of, you know, bakery scents to it anyways. That was like the first one. I know they've come out with a bunch since, but I just remember like and I saw like a lot of other people complaining about that like when you sprayed it on, like it smelled good for like 3 minutes and then like it would just dissipate. So that's why Britney's perfumes eat down. Britney's perfumes are really good. Paris Hilton has some good ones too. And I love all of the ones that Nicki put out because like somebody stopped me and asked me the other day what I was wearing, and it was just the pink Friday body spray. But they have like really good like lasting power on them. Even the body spray, like if I spray it on myself, I still smell it on, like in the morning, I still smell it like in the evening when I'm going to like take a shower and wind down for the night. So there's so many scams on the market. Well, like I said, look it up, because this was years ago when they first came out with the spray. And I bought like a little travel set that had like a travel size of this spray and then like a travel size of the Bum Bum cream, because I had never tried either one at that point. And I would layer them and it still wouldn't like smell like a whole lot. And then when I went on the Sephora website, I saw like everybody else was saying the same thing, like, oh, it only smells good for a couple minutes, and like the lotion scent smells like lasts longer. But like I said, they may have changed it, and I know that they've come out with like a bunch of different scents since then too. They should have made high-end ones for Britney, only the problem is that they didn't last. I don't remember if they lasted a long time on me or not, because it's been like years since I had a Britney Spears perfume. Target has some bomb ass perfumes actually. Like all the Pacifica perfumes smell really good, especially the moon lines where it's like neon moon, sunset moon, dream moon. And a lot of those are like dupes for more high-end ones, because I have a Missoni perfume that smells exactly like, I think it was Dream Moon. It's whichever one has like a heavy patchouli notes to it. And I love the Mix Bar ones. I will say the odd thing about the Mix Bar perfumes is the body sprays tend to last longer than the actual perfume itself. But Wood Elixir mixed with the vanilla bourbon is like the perfect fall scent. And the Cloud Musk is my bedtime perfume. Do y'all have like a bedtime perfume? I know I saw some people when this topic was going around on social media a while back, people were like, oh my God, I'm not going to put my Chanel No. 5 on before I go to bed. That's wasteful. Or what was the other thing that they were saying? Like, oh, well, if you need a perfume before bed, then your soap didn't work or something. And it was like, it doesn't have anything to, like, for me, I mean, and I'm one of those people that like double and triple cleanses in the shower, and I take multiple showers a day. And I usually use Caress body wash, and that is highly scented. Like, it's not about that. It's just like, especially like I feel like it's just part of the like mindset change. Like, oh, you got out of the shower, you put on your body lotion, you spray yourself with your little perfume, you put your pajamas on, and it like signals your brain that it's time to like wind down and relax and go to sleep. So I know Marilyn Monroe did it, right? But I like the Cloud Musk for that one from Mix Bar, because it's like such a like subtle but good bedtime scent. And people have to be like really close to you to really smell that one. Like, it doesn't have like super strong notes to it or like a super strong projection, but it really is like such a good bedtime scent in my opinion. You like the Clean Laundry and Skin perfumes for bed? Yes. That's like what I would say that like the Cloud Musk smells like to me. Like a nice clean skin scent. So I love scents too. Dossier is a good place to get perfume for the low. The perfumes are inspired by the high-end perfumes. I've heard of them. I've never used them. Or maybe they don't sell them at TJ Maxx, do they? Because I got like one from TJ Maxx that was supposed to be like a dupe for something else. I can't remember what the brand was. And I don't even remember what the scent was because I ended up giving it away to somebody else because it wasn't my favorite anyways. I go to fragrancenet.com if you want, like, and they always, if you sign up for like their like emails and stuff, they always send you 30% off coupons. So you can get like all of the like perfumes and stuff that you like for like TJ Maxx prices, plus a little extra off with like the different coupons that they do. So they sell Dossier at Walmart now. Oh, okay. I never go to Walmart. I order things from Walmart and get it delivered to my house though, but good luck convincing me to walk into the actual store and shop around. I love the Dr. Teal's melatonin bedtime stuff, like the lotions and the shower gels and the body wash and the body scrubs. Like, those are so nice. Hey, Portia. I was going to say, Carlos Yolanda Barfcalis Marlboro Saldivar III says that she gets nauseous when he wears colognes, but she smokes in the house and in the car. I feel like she just... I don't know, like, I've heard enough people say throughout the years that she doesn't smell very good, that it's just like, knowing that she also doesn't wear perfume or let her husband wear cologne, like, also just kind of adds to that. Like, especially now, knowing that she walks around smelling like a damn ashtray on top of it. I mean, how the hell can you, like... I don't know, because even people that I know that, like, smoke cigarettes, like, they were saying that there's no way that they could handle sitting in a car with all the windows rolled up, smoking, or somebody else smoking, that they were like, that's just, like, too fucking much. Carlos looks like she smashes beer cans on her forehead. Oh my god, that is so funny. You know what? Did you guys see that, like, because one of the barbs sent me, shout out to Carson, sent me screenshots from Twitter where I guess, like, Barty Gang was pulling, like, I don't know what it was like, oh, this is Barty, and then this is LaCaldi. And it was where she had, like, the Celia Cruz type turban on her head from some interview. And they were, like, saying, like, oh, when she's in her, like, Hispanic bag, that's when she's LaCaldi. And I was just like, that's your alter ego, the soup? Like, Spanish speakers would be like, caldo, soup. And so then I was just like, well, then I guess we should call her caldo de pollo because she's a fucking bird. And if she was going to be... and have her alter ego be soup of all things, then it would be chicken soup. And then I posted them in my Patreon, and I think it was you, Hannah, that said that she could make, that it actually fits because of her chicken bouillon seasoning ads, and that she can make offsheet some chicken noodle soup and stir it with her long, dirty witch fingernails. Dude, I was on the floor, like, screaming when I read that comment. I was just like, no, don't give anybody any ideas. Because next thing we know, we're going to get an ad from her for Walmart about how you can go get her chicken bouillon seasoning in a pot and make your spouse some chicken noodle soup, and then she's gonna take her fingers that she said that she uses to pick boogers out of her kid's nose on her last Walmart ad and start stirring the soup around. So that's what's funny, is that like she hates being called what she is. And I'm just like, the only reason why you hate that people keep bringing up that you're Latina is because you're trying to pass as something else. And being called what you really are brings more attention to the fact that you are, in fact, not a black woman. And that's why she gets pissed about it, because you just keep reminding her of her lies every time people call her Latina. And so Lindsay said also yesterday that she's just the broth and vegetables with no seasoning, because she has absolutely no substance or flavor to her. That was funny too, but I was just like, that proves to you that she like doesn't speak Spanish, because, or well, because there's so many freaking like cool play on words and things that she could have chosen, or names that she could have chosen for her alter ego. Like Roman Zelensky is a play on Roman Polanski. So it's like, you know, she could have came up with something that was like a play on like Celia Cruz, or like other like influential like Hispanic and Latin artists, but instead she wants to be the soup. So I guess, I mean, she's stupid, and nothing that she does ever makes like good marketing sense anyway, so I guess we're just gonna let her have that one. So, well, along with those screenshots was a bunch of other screenshots of people talking about how, you know, awful it is that she was acting like being called Mexican was like the worst insult in the entirety of the world. Because again, what's wrong with being Mexican? Her ultimate option was El Taco. They could have called her Chicharron. She can be crispy pigskin. That would like line right up with her and her cop calling husband anyways. But she can be caldo de pollo, and we can call off Chicharron. She really has fallen off. I mean, I told this to my patrons, is that, you know, every single artist is gonna put out songs that don't resonate with everybody. And that's just a part of the freaking game, whether you write your own music or you don't. But the difference is that for most other artists, because they consistently put out music, like Nicki, for example, there's a lot of people that haven't liked some of the freestyles that she's released lately, or didn't like the one that she did the remix to the Drake song. But it wasn't make or break and oh my god, we're all gonna fucking die because we don't like this song, because it's like Nicki's gonna get us next time. And we have 12 million other songs from her that we can go listen to that we like as well. So we don't trip off of that. But when your fans have only gotten one album and very few singles that were actually your singles and not you being a feature on somebody else's song, then it's, when you do release something because you made them wait 114 years for it, they're expecting that, oh, you were really freaking in your creative bag, you were working with all the best people, you were really cooking in the kitchen, and you're gonna eat on this. And so then when it doesn't deliver, it's like, oh my god, because it's like, now we're gonna have to wait 100 more years to get something out of you, and now we don't know if you completely did fell off and your run is over. So she painted herself into that corner. If she would have just been putting things out consistently instead of being so caught up in the drama and being lazy and everything else that she's done, people wouldn't really give her as hard of a time when she puts out something that other people don't like. So she can be Menudo. Oh my god. No, because you know why? We don't want to call her Menudo because that was an actual group of people who all got abused and taken advantage of, but were actually talented enough to be in that group. You know, so it's like she doesn't deserve to be called Menudo. I'm not a hater, but that woman deserves to be clowns. Can you believe Carlos said that she was not sorry about the stuff she said about people's parents? Well, she was saying, oh, when she's in a bad mood in her house, that she's going to scream at everybody and tell them that she wants them to die and that she wants to die too. And that she's not going to stop until she gets everybody else pissed off also for her to be able to feel better. That's not healthy at all. That is the biggest sign of you not being a good person, number one, but also being incredibly immature in every single way, especially emotionally. You need to get some cognitive behavioral therapy and anger management so that you can learn how to control and process your emotions in a healthy way and not take your shit out on everybody else. Because why is it okay for you to walk around and tell anybody, but especially, I mean, it's even worse to say that you say that to your family members rather than just strangers on the internet. Like, that's horrible. And that is not okay. And just because you're having a bad day or you're not in a good mood doesn't mean that everybody else has to be your emotional punching bag. So it's very sociopathic. I mean, Karen across from me that threw the fit about the fucking cats is that way. And her own husband has told all of the neighbors that, oh, when she's in a bad mood, she's not going to stop until she puts everybody else in the house in a bad mood and has to let everybody know about it. And it's like, yeah, we can hear through the walls. So she's like a dementor. Ugh. I know what Menudo is the soup. Sorry. I thought you meant like we should call her that. And I was just like, oh no, we can't because that's not nice to the actual group. What was she doing? Like, please tell me she wasn't just popping out babies and starting shit. That's exactly what she was doing. I mean, and what did Nikki say? You have the biggest blessing that you could ever get, having a beautiful child at home, and you want to focus on starting drama and being an asshole rather than, you know, celebrating that you're a new mom and enjoying that part of your life. So she's definitely evil. She is the definition of somebody that is lit. Hate completely take over and turn them into nothing but a negative, low vibrational energy. So he does seem like he is the better parent. Is that crazy? I mean, that's like so funny when you think about it. Like Kanye and Offcheat are the more maternal, better parents to their kids. Sexy Red is on tour and Carlos is still trolling on the internet 6 years later. And Sexy Red has a kid at home and she is pregnant with another one. And she just went through, you know, somebody supposedly posting her tapes and all kinds of pictures to embarrass her. I mean, we know it was a humiliation ritual, but she just keeps on trucking. Like, look at Ice Spice. People drag her constantly. People drag Sweetie constantly. That's why I like Ice Spice, because she reminds me of Sweetie. You know, where they will just ignore all the negative stuff and it's just like, I'm just gonna keep working. I'm just gonna keep trying to improve. I'm not out here trying to claim that I'm the female Jay-Z or J. Cole. Like, you know, I'm not trying to be the best lyricist. Like, I'm having fun with it. I'm appreciating the opportunities that I'm being given and trying to make the most of them. And, you know, regardless of whether or not you like their music, you have to appreciate those qualities in a person. So they don't sit there and get on Twitter and be like, I'm never performing live again. Fuck you. And like, you know, harassing people and fighting with barbs and all the crazy shit that Carlos does every time that she gets the least bit of criticism. And she literally acts like, oh, she's the most hated on person in the world and this and that. Well, first of all, I'm sure Meghan Markle would like to have a conversation with you about that, since it's been proven multiple times that Meghan Markle was literally the most, like, negatively discussed and trolled person on the internet. Secondly, I think Nikki would like to also have a conversation with you about that. Sweetie and Ice Spice get way more criticism and hatred than Carlos does. And they're not doing, and this is the thing, none of those 4 people that I just mentioned are doing horrible things to other people and just coming at everybody negative and crazy constantly. Carlos brings it on herself, and she's trained people too that, oh, if you're bored, make a Twitter account, put Nikki's picture on it, and start tweeting shit about Carlos. And as soon as she sees it, she'll fight with you. And they're just sitting there laughing at her while she's wasting the entirety of her night fighting with some person that's in the middle of Oklahoma in their bedroom and probably 17 years old, and we're just bored or grounded. When Miss I'm so rich, shouldn't you be in the studio? Shouldn't you be, I don't know, making another business deal? Shouldn't you be enjoying all your wealth and privilege and planning a vacation with your family or going out to dinner with your husband? Like, why are you on Twitter fighting with little kids? Because I feel like a lot of the people behind those Twitter accounts that she be getting in fights with are like minors. You keep hearing from Twitter that Carlos got dropped from Atlantic Records. I don't think she got dropped yet because it hasn't been 7 years for that contract. February will be 7 years. So, but at that point in time, they can drop her. I definitely feel that she has been shelved, and they've just got her ass in, you know, on a shelf somewhere and are not going to invest in her. But, and regardless, again, she is in a 360 deal. People in 360 deals do not get to have any control, even most of the time, over what songs they're even gonna record, much less which songs are gonna go on the album. How many people have you heard over the years who weren't even in 360s that they said, I had to fight and fight and fight with my label for them to even include this song on the album, or for them to let me release it as a single? So do you really think that people had more control over their careers and still had to fight for their creative control over certain aspects, but Carlos was just given free reign over there to do whatever she wanted? Come on. So, well, and that's what karma came right back to bite her in the ass, because you were so happy to participate in somebody else's hate train and called yourself trying to replace them and thinking that you were better than them. And now look, congratulations to Nikki. She has now sold 100 million albums this year, and we haven't even gotten Pink Friday 2 yet. So that means those numbers are only gonna go up over the next few weeks. So, anyways, speaking of, it was like everybody except for Tyrese today is a Nicki hater. So, let's get into DJ Envy. Oh my God, I was like dying laughing yesterday in the comments on Mob's World because I don't know if you guys saw the clips of Joe Budden talking about how he went through all the indictment paperwork. And dude, just the way that Joe was losing his shit, like trying to like talk about it was so freaking funny anyways. But I was dying laughing because in the comments we were like, he's gonna be in the prison yard. Good morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy. And then he's gonna get his ass beat by all the other prisoners. So DJ Envious, right? It was like, why would you choose that name? Like, that's something that I was always just like, why would you call yourself DJ Envy? Like, are you saying that you're like a jealous ass hater of other people? Are you envious of DJ Khaled because he's taken more serious as an actual DJ than you? Because it's just a weird name. Also, I was listening earlier this morning of the clips of Erica Mena talking to Carlos King about what happened when they had their affair. And for those who know, you will get it. If you don't, go to patreon.com/psychicbellalove and then you will understand. But she said that their affair came out right as he was getting the Breakfast Club and the whole syndicated show and doing the iHeart deal. And she was getting on Love and Hip Hop. Humiliation ritual, just saying. But let's see what is going on with Envy. Tell me what is going on with DJ Envy and the implications that he's involved in. And I've been dying at all the clips that everybody has been like reposting too, because he was trying to say, oh, I didn't touch any money. I lost money. I never got a dime out of this. First of all, why would you be going around the whole entire country doing seminars and constantly promoting this on your radio show if you were not benefiting and profiting in any way, shape, or form from this situation? Like, come on. We all know how like influencer marketing and stuff works, you know, and on top of it, Tasha K reposted a clip of him at in some office collecting rent checks. And so it was like, you did make money. And he kept like, you know, he was telling on himself and all these other clips that were posted and that people have been dragging up and reposting, you know, against him. So, ooh, he is so scared right now, you guys. He is so fucking scared. He is shaking in his boots, terrified that he's gonna lose everything behind this and go to jail. Joe is always pretty spot on. Well, Spirit's saying that iHeart, whoever, you know, is, if it is still iHeart that runs, you know, the station and stuff, has had a conversation with him already. So his job is very much hanging by a thread right now, and it was really like, you know, the more that this starts to hit the fan, the less that we're gonna need you around here. So Well, he's a complete narcissist. So narcs, I've always like seen like those like, have you ever go on those like Reddit threads where it's like, what is it really like to be like a lawyer or a detective or, court reporter or whatever? And like lawyers always say on those types of things, like narcs are like the worst to have to deal with in court cases, because regardless of like whatever the hell you tell them to do or not do, they're gonna do whatever they think is best for them. And they always think that they know better, even though the lawyer is like telling you this after like, okay, it's been proven over and over and over again throughout history, like don't talk because they can use it against you. And it's like, you know what, I think I need to clear my name. And so he's gonna keep doing dumb shit is what Spirit's saying too. Oh boy. Okay, first and foremost, somebody else is gonna come out of the woodwork to talk about him having an affair with them too. So, and this has been a more recent thing, like, oh, the dust settled from the Erica Mena situation, and as soon as my wife thought she could trust me again, I was back out there, as Wendy Williams would say, zipping it and zooing it. So there is more secrets to come. It feels like there's a lot more people who are going to be coming out of the woodwork to talk about him, to share things about him, to expose him. This case is only going to continue to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Like Spirit saying, right now, Caesar may have been the first to get arrested, but there's other people that they're looking at that it's like, were they the ones that put Caesar up to this? Were they co-conspirators with him? I keep feeling like this is going to end up turning into even bigger than we think it is right now. Like Rico racketeering kind of a situation. And it's like, we've only seen just the beginning of this, because there is going to be not only, stuff coming out about just envy in general, but more coming to light about this whole situation and who was involved and what was really happening. Don't be surprised if Envy doesn't end up getting arrested and charged, but put on like house arrest pending trial. And you can trust and believe that he is going to sing like a fucking canary, trying to get himself out of it. But he's definitely got charges coming. He is not free and clear of this, no matter how he wants to make things out to be. They're going to be facing a lot of years too. Are you guys aware at all of like the situation that happened with Fetty Wap going to jail? Like they were going to try to give him like 75 years or something like that until he like accepted the 5-year plea deal or whatever it was that he ended up taking. Spirit saying they're gonna threaten them with some real long fucking time to get people to snitch and to accept plea deals. I mean, that's what always happens in any situation. They're gonna try to charge you for every single little thing that they can. And you were also jaywalking, and that's another 7 years added to your sentence, just so that way they can scare you into taking a plea deal. And so they're going to go hard at him and everybody else that's involved in this. Envy's definitely going to end up losing the Breakfast Club over this. He's also going to end up losing his marriage over it as well. Gia is not going to stay with him through this. Because it's like, okay, you were over here involved in this real estate scam. This is, you know, the 180th time that I've had to hear about you cheating on me. I'm done. Like, you know, because it's like I was willing to forgive you because we had a certain lifestyle, but now that I'm not going to have that lifestyle anymore, like, why am I going to stick around for this shit? Karma is definitely coming for his ass. Hard. But Spirit's saying, you know, and stuff that it's like deserves. Like, he involved himself. I mean, did you see the clip where it's like he said, I called Joe Budden, I called DJ Clue. Who was the other person that he said that he called? And that he was trying to like push them into investing in the Caesar thing. And that Joe Budden told him this sounds like some sort of Ponzi scheme. And like, you should be careful and not get involved in this. That's one of those situations that the Bible talks about, you know, how God will send a bunch of people as messengers to you to try to warn you about things or to try to stop you from, like, you know, going down the wrong path. But he didn't want to listen to that or even take it into consideration. His eyes were blinded by easy money. Fabulous, yeah. That was the other person. So, you know, he tricked, he helped, he was complicit in tricking a lot of people into losing money. Like, that's karma because you're affecting their households. You're affecting their ability to feed their kids. Like, they trusted you because they thought you were like a decent person that wouldn't do something like that. And on top of it, he's played so many dirty games with trying to stop people's bags in the industry and stop their opportunities. You know, he played a major part in the Nikki hate train and in uplifting Carlos to come and take her spot. But Spirit's saying he's done that shit to other artists over the years too. You know, him and Charlemagne, where it's like somebody comes along and they're like, we want you to stop talking shit about this artist and start like promoting this artist. Here's some payola. And so you can't be fucking around with people's careers and livelihood like that. Like, this is the thing, you know, that I always tell people. And this is why I've always been extremely careful in my life. When you screw with people's ability to make money or with their livelihoods, you're not just affecting that bitch Susan from the copy room that you don't like when you keep complaining about her to HR trying to get her fired. It is a very widespread effect that everybody in her household is going to be compromised if she loses her job and can't bring money in. All of the people that she pays, the things she pays for, you know, because every time we pay the light bill, we're also making sure and contributing towards the people who work at the light companies' salaries and their job positions. Same thing if you go to TJ Maxx, same thing when you go to the grocery store, you know, places have to make money in order to be able to employ people. And so it is a huge widespread effect when we fuck with people's money and they can't pay for shit anymore. That it's not just, oh, I can't feed myself and my kids. It's also, well, everything that I'm no longer able to contribute towards is being negatively affected and it's affecting their families. And karma will hit you real fucking hard for that. Real fucking hard. You're better off to go up to somebody and tell them they're ugly bitch and slap them across the face than you are to fuck with somebody's money. And that's why, you know, because he has a pattern of doing this and has been doing this to people for years, scamming them, stopping bags, that now it's really going to come back and bite him in the ass. So, you know, Purse for that bitch, Susie. We always use Susan from the copy room as our example of a coworker that we don't like. You know, so if it's just like, I just don't like that person, I'm going to just try to stay away from them. If they come up to me and start saying racist crap to me, yeah, then it's justified to go to HR. But, you know, we've all seen those situations where people want to bully somebody at work and make them lose their job because they're jealous that the boss likes them more, or, you know, for whatever reason. And you're just creating bad karma for yourself when you participate in things like that. So, and listen, I don't, Susan from the copy room will never see a day of peace in our community. She really won't. I'm a huge believer in, you know, if somebody messes with me and they don't like me and shit doesn't work out, whatever, I might be able to ruin your day or your week, but God and karma can really fuck up like a whole big portion of your life. So I would rather let God and karma get to work on my behalf than to me take it upon myself to think, oh, I need to be the issuer of somebody's karma. So, and you know what's funny is, Envy's over there trying to get candles lit on his behalf and all this kind of stuff to try to stop what's coming, but Spirit's saying it's not going to work. Like, he already, you know, you can do all the magic in the entire world and hire every single person that's amazing, but if God has other plans for you, no amount of calling on whatever spirit or you lighting as many candles as you can is ever going to stop God's will. And so he's not going to be able to stop any of this. Oh, hey, Preston. I'm glad you made it back. In fact, be nice to them. It makes things even spicier. My job got on my nerves and I got them chocolate. I just know karma would be extra spicy if they do me wrong. Right? So what questions do we got about Envy's legal situation? God always has the final say. You know, I can light a bazillion candles that I want something to happen, but if God's like, that's not part of your life and part of your plans that I have for you, it's not going to happen. It's just the truth. Yeah, put question in front of it if you have a question, so that way I can make sure that I see it. But did you guys hear that people are saying, like, because I guess, does he claim to be Hispanic too, or like an Afro-Latino? Because I heard people, I really have not watched a whole lot of The Breakfast Club. I just see like certain clips that go viral. Because I honestly could not stand like Charlemagne. I couldn't stand any of them. Like, let's be dead ass honest. But people were saying that he's not really like a Hispanic, that he was just trying to claim that because he's light skinned. I was like, oh my God. I was like, not another Carlos. Sana. Oh, I don't know, Teddy. I haven't had any issues over here. So, oh, Charlemagne always calls him Latino. I think people are saying he's Dominican. See, I was like, I didn't really know what was going on with that situation. I just, you know, saw people talking about it, and I was like, I have no idea what happened. So, let me see. Spirit to Carlos. I need to see it from him. Thank you. No, she actually didn't. He tried to get her to, but Carlos doesn't have the money to be investing in real estate like that. So, I mean, remember I told you guys a while back, expect that at some point we're going to see Carlos start selling off like those cars that they don't drive and the, you know, certain things. Like she'll have a Black China moment where she starts selling stuff off, and it's like, because it's coming up about there was a conversation and wanting to try to like move forward and work together, but her not having the ability to get a hold of cash or get loans to do any of this. So it didn't end up happening. So let's see. He's from Dominicana. Envy is? I'm going to have to like look this up afterwards. I just thought about it. He's the Rachel Dolezal of hip hop. I thought Carlos was the Rachel Dolezal of hip hop, seeing as that she wants to pretend like she's black. Which again, I know what Dominica is, babe. But I just always think it's very, very interesting how, you know, nobody's running around calling Hennessy Afro-Latina, nor does she run around and claim to be that. But yet her and Carlos are supposed to have the same exact parents. I'm just like, make that make sense. Make that make sense. Is he gonna like his jail cell because his ass is getting locked the fuck up? Well, maybe we can send him an Erica Mena poster that he can hang up in there. Let me see. Lindsay said, will this be his come to Jesus moment and make him reflect on his choices? No, because he's a narcissist. And Spirit's saying he's going to twist and convolute everything in his own head to make it that it's Caesar tricked me and I'm just suffering because I was a victim and the government doesn't want to, you know, give me an opportunity and understand that I was victimized too by him. Like, he's just going to blame everything on Caesar. Same way that he blamed the whole entire affair on Erica Mena. And it's like, okay, both of y'all was fucking wrong. But if she really truly didn't know you were married, why is this her fault? And regardless, even if she did, you still hold more of the burden of guilt, seeing as that you were the one that was married and cheating. She wasn't married to your wife too. She didn't owe her anything. You did. So, Teddy, they say that Carlos and Hennessy have the same mom and the same dad. So, is Envy going to start snitching on other people? Yes, that was the first thing that came up when we started pulling cards, that he's going to snitch on everybody to try to get himself out of this. I wish DeSeuss and Mero were still on the air. They would have roasted him so bad. I love when they dragged him on the Breakfast Club years ago. Oh, I'll have to go back and watch that. I love how everyone is going down right before Nicki's album drops. Just means all of these haters will be too worried about something other than trying to ruin her rollout. I mean, listen, if you're somebody that's in the industry and has been hating on other people and playing games with other people's careers and all of that kind of stuff, you should look around you and see Young Thug is locked up, Envy's about to get locked up, you know, and all the other people that have all their skeletons tumbling out, and worry about your own backyard and what you need to keep quiet. Because karma comes for everybody. Even if it means that they die before their truth gets to come out, it will still come out afterwards. Look at Hugh Hefner. So everybody needs to, you know, worry about themselves and stop being so interested in trying to take down other people. Yeah, I mean, Diddy's getting exposed. Everybody's getting exposed in one way or another. So, doesn't Envy also DJ and control playlists for Apple Music? I think Apple is Ebro, right? Ray J didn't have anything to do with Tupac, Portia. Ray J's younger than me, and I was 13 when Tupac died. Yeah, it was like right before I turned 14, I think. So I think I was in 8th grade. I might have been in 7th grade. So Ray J would have been like 10, 11 when that happened. I mean, we could question Ray J being around Whitney Houston when she passed away, but Ray J couldn't have had anything to do with Tupac. Because I just sit there and think, I was like, Brandy was like a year older than me or the same age as me. I can't remember. Because I'm born in 1982. And I know Ray J was a few years younger than the both of us. So it was like, he would have been like a really little kid. And so, I know. Ray J was out there supplying guns to people. No, if I was going to do a reading like that anyways, it would be in Patreon. And just reminder, guys, I do not take requests for any types of celebrity readings outside of patreon.com/psychicbellalove. And if you want your own personal private reading, you can always go to psychicbellalove.com. So let's talk about Akademiks real quick, and then we'll get into the Tyrese divorce drama. So I was gonna say, I feel like Ebro, Charlemagne, DJ Envy, you know, a lot of the big DJs that do have some influence when it comes to like streaming platforms or even just promoting, you know, certain types of artists and whatnot. A lot of them, probably all of them, you know, number one, receive payola, which is why they will, you know, all of a sudden be like, oh my God, we all got to promote this person or that person because Atlantic Records, you know, is sending us a check, or Republic or whoever, you know, they're signed to. But they all do it to some extent, you know, it just depends on who are they cool with and what labels do they really like work with. I mean, Jason Lee pretty much, well, this is why I don't talk about what anybody else is reading or not reading on other channels, because it's just not my business and I don't care. But I was just like, maybe people should also make sure that they know how old people were and if it would have been possible for them to have even been involved in any way, shape, or form with situations first. But what do you call it? We were talking about like the whole payola stuff. So yeah, it's just they all participate in it. But Jason Lee is the one that like really like confirmed that when he was on the Breakfast Club, and he said that Julie Greenwald, is that what her name is? Yeah, Greenwald and Atlantic Records pay the lease. You know, which lease? Your home lease or the lease for your studio is what I would want to know. But that just confirmed to everybody that they be cutting checks to people. And then I don't know if you guys also saw it, that what do you call there was some girls that did like some challenge to one of Off Cheat's songs that he just dropped. And I guess like Off Cheat left like fire emojis or something like that on the pages. And then people were like, oh, he's cheating on Carlos again. And then the girls came out and they were like, his wife is the one who paid us to like, you know, try to make this a viral challenge type of a thing. So that's payola too, because you're trying to take advantage of Instagram Reels and TikTok algorithms. And it wasn't some viral challenge. But I've been telling everybody that that's what happens with, you know, a lot of these viral challenges, that it's not some organic homegrown thing that somebody was just sitting in their room and was like, oh, Off Cheat dropped his album 5 minutes ago, and I'm going to pick out this one particular part of this song and make up a dance to it and post it on TikTok. It's because the label or the artist themselves found people and were like, hey, we're going to send you this clip. We want you to take this clip and create a challenge. And it's just like any other like sponsorship situation that you would get as an influencer or a creator, where it's like you get a little rule list, like we need you to do XYZ thing, you know, and mention or include this. And that's what happens all the time. It's just like Off Cheat's the one that got exposed for it. So, you know, meanwhile, the Barbs are just constantly making up their own challenges. Have you guys seen the ones where they go to like dead presidents' graves and rap trolls and like Nicki's most like disrespectful ass lyrics? Somebody did it to Lyndon B. Johnson and they were like, from now on his name is Lyndon Barb Johnson. I was cracking up because I was just like, the fact that y'all decided that people that died 100 years ago needed to hear trolls of all songs. The Barbs are so unhinged. That's why I love them. It's hilarious because that's the kind of shit I would have done when I was younger too. But just like we're out here renaming presidents, you are Lyndon Barb Johnson. The B stands for Barb. So anyways, moving on to Akademiks, and just a reminder that all of our Nicki readings and content, because we are protecting her this era, are over in Patreon for now, because the duds are watching and plotting and planning, and we are not going to help them. But people are saying that Drake and Carlos and Lil Yachty like have personal phone calls with Akademiks, and that the things that he claimed that he has forgiven Nicki for, or that even other people, like that he was cool with JT or whatever, that he's gone back to dragging them again, and they think that, you know, either Drake or Yachty or Carlos is influencing him. So I just want to see. Yeah, don't mention other readers on my page, guys, because it doesn't matter in what context you guys are talking about them. People start shit It's happened before that somebody, I didn't even know who the hell people were talking about in the comments, and then that person sent me some long ass email telling me that people told them that I was like talking about them, and I'm like, I just said I don't know who that is and kept it moving, and they thought it was some beef, and I was just like, oh my god. So we just don't, because I don't want a Carlos Nikki situation happening on my channel. I don't watch anybody else. I don't have time. I don't care what other people say or don't say in their readings. I get my own information. You guys are welcome to watch other people. You know, it's just we all get what we get and we all do what we do, and I have respect for everybody. But, you know, it's just I don't want drama. I'm a Libra. We don't do our own drama. We just watch other people's and judge them for it. We just sit on the sidelines with our popcorn, laughing and judging, but like we don't do drama in our own lives, okay? Dude, it's so crazy because when I worked on like certain psychic lines where we were like had like chat rooms and whatnot that the like or message boards that the readers could talk to each other. And let me just preface it by saying we weren't allowed to talk about customers. If you did, your ass would get like kicked off the whole entire site. I was just like, oh wow, cool, a whole bunch of other people that are into the same shit I'm in. Like, we're gonna have so much fun and be friends. And like within a week, I was like, oh my god, all of these people are freaking insane. I don't want to be friends or talk to any of them. Like, it was a lot of fucking drama. A lot. And I was just like, oh, no. I'm not trying to be involved in all of that. I mean, people would literally go on like Rip Off Report and write horrible things about each other that were, you know, outwardly racist at times. And it was bad. It was real bad. It was literally like watching like the Barbs and Barty gang. And people would dox each other. It was insane. So that's why like after that, I was just like, I'm going to just stay in my corner and like have my own little community. And I don't know if I really want to be friends with other spiritual people because that scarred me for life. Not that I'm not. I'm friends with other psychics. I do have other psychics I'm friends with. I'm just saying it's made me very picky and careful, though. He does look like the mouse from Tom and Jerry. Very, very much so. Also, I have people... I saw somebody call him a diabetic raccoon one time. And then somebody else said he looks like a possum. Like, people just be like dragging his ass. It is kind of funny. So, oh boy. Okay. I mean, this is the thing when it comes to Akademiks. Whoever is gonna pay him, give him some attention, that's whose side he's gonna be on. I mean, or if he gets scared, because he gets scared real fucking easy. Like, Spirit's saying it's really easy, honestly, to, like, threaten him and scare him into doing whatever you want. Like, you don't even have to, like, have any intentions of following through. He's gonna run crying to his mommy, you know, scared away. That's why he flip-flopped on everything that he was saying during Tori and Megan's trial. That's why he's flip-flopped on a lot of things throughout the years, because it's like, oh, like, I started getting calls and people were threatening to show up at my house, so, like, now I need to dial it back. Meanwhile, he'll make up lies and say that people were threatening him when they were not, because he was being told to say that. So... has Carlos paid him, you know, and influenced him by being like, oh, we have each other's phone numbers. Let's be friends. For fucking sure. And this is the craziest thing, though. If Nikki called him tomorrow and was like, I want you to personally come on tour with me and announce me at the beginning of every show before I come out, and I'm going to give you $1 million for it, he would get on Twitch until that damn tour started and spend all day, every single day, dragging Carlos for absolute filth. Nikki wouldn't have to tell him, I want you to drag Carlos. She wouldn't just, you know what, Akademiks, I want to make up with you. I think you're amazing. Let's just light the world on fire by showing them what good friends we are. He would do it. He can be very easily bought. Which we should know that too, because if you've watched, he's talked about how Lucian Grange paid him to promote his artists, including 6ix9ine, and that's why Ak was ever around 6ix9ine, was because he was getting paid to promote him. And he said that he's done it for other people and other artists since. So he's gonna, it's always money and then don't kill me that matter the most to this guy when it comes down to it. So, well, that's the thing that I like about Joe, okay? Joe might change his mind because he gets more information, and we are all free to change our minds, right? Like, okay, I thought one thing was going on in this situation, but I needed more context, and now that I know the whole story of what's happening, now I can see other people's point in the situation. But you can't be sitting there one day and being like, I hate this person so much. They smell bad. They're ugly. Their music sucks. They need to be deleted off the earth. And then 3 days later, oh my God, did you guys hear their new album? They're so amazing. It's like, huh? That's flip-flopping. And that's exactly the kind of shit that he does. He's got Rock Nation in his pocket too, because they're showing up. We know Jay-Z often shows up as the emperor in these readings, and so that was part of the flip-flopping when it came to the whole Megan and Tory situation, because it was like, we need people to believe this girl, and you can't be over here trying to influence everybody and tell them that something's fucking fishy. So, you know, that was not getting paid. That was getting threatened. That was really, shut your fucking mouth and tell a different story or you're gonna regret it type of a situation. Because Spirit saying he got that phone call and there was some need of depends because he definitely shit his damn pants. So, people, I mean, Noriega and Joe Budden have both said that, like, Jay-Z has, like, made calls and shit to them because they said that they didn't like a certain song. Or they didn't understand something he was doing. So, of course, Jay-Z wanted everybody to believe Megan. So, the people that he felt like, you have a voice that people listen to, I'm going to make some damn calls and get you to either not say anything or say what I want you to say. So, that's the thing that people need to understand. Joseph Budden does not give two actual fucks. If you have seen that video where he literally ran barefoot down the street after a car of people that were harassing him in front of his house, and they were fucking scared shitless recording him, and he caught up to the damn car. Like, because I've seen people where, in that old, like, Migos interview situation happened, that people were like, oh, they would have, like, Joe was scared or this or that. I was like, oh, I do not think that Joe was scared whatsoever. He still continued to call them men with blouses and purses for a good 2 years after that. Joe was not at all scared. Joe would have dragged them. It's security did the Migos a favor. And let's be honest, as much as we like Takeoff, every fight that they ever had was them jumping people, but whenever anybody caught up with them one-on-one, they would go running the opposite way. I don't know about Takeoff. I'm gonna say we know Off Cheat talked a bunch of shit and then ran, or talked a bunch of shit and then called the police on Chris Brown. Which, again, if you think that Off Cheat didn't call the police on Nicki Minaj and Kenneth Petty, then please refer back to his situation with Chris Brown. And then tell me again that you think that he didn't have anything to do with that. Joe definitely stands his ground. And he is very intelligent. So, and he is hilarious sometimes. Do I agree with everything that Joe Budden says or does? No. But I can find him to be informative and entertaining. And the thing that I will always give to him, where I will take his stance and opinion on anything music industry related more serious, because he's been an actual artist. He knows how the machine works from the inside. He's dealt with, label executives and other artists and all of the, crazy bullshit that Hollywood wants to throw their way. People from Akademiks who are on the outside looking in and just giving an opinion, but they don't have an experience-based facts to bring to the table, I'm going to take you way less seriously. Noriega could be that person for people if he would just shut up and let people finish answering a goddamn question and stop interrupting everybody, but that's my only complaint. It's like, otherwise, I would love to listen to Drink Champs. It's just really hard when somebody is constantly interrupting everybody. But I appreciate that, what Joe can bring to the table, even if I don't always agree with it. So, I mean, basically, Yachty, Drake, Carlos, Jay-Z, if anybody wants to get a hold of Akademiks and influence him, they can do it. So, and Drake has definitely done that because he wanted Akademiks to stop talking negatively about him. He wanted him to stop talking about SZA. I feel like he didn't directly tell him to drag anybody, but Yachty had some influence in that kind of stuff, and Drake may have offhandedly said some things to Yachty, and Yachty, being his little lapdog, was like, oh, okay, let me go do that. Let me go to Akademiks, and he did. So, it's a chain of manipulation. That always gives me ick. Please let that person say what they want to say. Exactly. I mean, that was what was so hard about trying to listen to the Nene podcast that she did with Bethany. Because Bethany actually asked good questions, and Nene had very intriguing things to say, but she couldn't say more than 3 or 4 words at once before Bethany would jump in. Me too! Oh my God, let me tell you about what happened to me! And just kept like, and it was like, oh my God, let Nene talk, please. Yachty is definitely annoying. Can we call him Lil Yeasty? I don't know why, every time I see him, I feel like he needs a good Candida cleanse. And we should call him Lil Yeasty. But there's some shit that's about to come out about Akademiks that's gonna bring him some big problems, including some legal issues. So we've got the Lovers card here. It could be a former girlfriend, or it could be somebody that has, you know, worked with him in the past. But this does feel like it's a female that, like, I'm suing you for what you did to me type of a situation. And as she is, here comes a bunch of other women, and he's gonna kind of have his own Me Too moment. And when he does, then everybody else is gonna be like, okay, well, now it's safe for me to come out and tell about my negative experience that I had with Akademiks. Listen, JT has some very interesting taste in men, is all I'm gonna say. I mean, it's kind of funny because I think outside of maybe the attitude or whatnot that people perceive JT to have, I think that she actually is very feminine energy. More so than Young Miami, although people would say that it was Carisha that had more of the feminine energy just going off of the surface stuff. So it is kind of weird that she ends up dating men who have a lot of feminine energy too, because usually when somebody has so much of that feminine energy, they really do seek out masculine for that balance. So I just always thought that that was kind of interesting. Well, I mean, Onika Voodoo has been strong this year, hasn't it? So if you guys have any questions about Akademiks, put them down in the comments. I will be right back to answer them. Just give me a minute. Okay, I had to put my hair up because it keeps getting caught on the back of the collar of my sweater, and it is so annoying. You're waiting for Winnie to jump up in the chair and steal the show. Oh my gosh. She's asleep, so. Which, guess what, guys? Onika has been letting me pet her. So, she's so cute. Yesterday, me and her had a whole conversation about her being the only girl and what that's like for her. Like, I was just asking her questions and she'd just be like, meow, 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 meow. Like, she was just straight up, like, it was like we were really having a whole conversation about it. It was so cute. You love when Tasha goes after DJ Alvin, as she calls him, and Jason P. Jason was out of fucking line with the shit that he said about Tasha's kids. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean, I'm not at all a Jason Lee fan whatsoever. But you don't talk about people's kids, and the way that he was calling her kid a gremlin and all this kind of stuff was just way too fucking much. But it's so crazy too, because isn't he the one that posted a picture of himself as a child and was like, Every time you say something negative about me, Nikki, you're saying it about this little boy who was abused. And it's just like, so you were trying to act like Nikki was bullying you and equating it to your childhood. But yet it's okay for you to bully an actual child. Whatever Nikki said to you, you were a full-grown man in your fucking 40s. And she was not dragging your childhood. She was dragging your actions and who you are as a grown-ass adult. There is a real big fucking difference. But just like Carlos, it's always, let me twist things and cry and try to get sympathy and paint somebody else out to be a bully when y'all are the big bullies. So, but listen, I've been saying Onika needs to go, Onika the cat, not Onika the rapper. Onika the kitty, she has got to be adopted by a Barb because they are the only one that will understand the importance of her name and of her being the only girl out of all of these boys, and yet her still running the show, being the only girl out of all the boys and being the tiniest out of all of them on top of it. Oh, he's definitely got some damn karma coming. Is the chipmunk going to be honest when he reviews Pink Friday 2? No. He's going to try to couch it in, oh, I'm not hating, and say that I liked this one song or I liked this verse on this other song, but then he's going to find a shit ton of things to criticize. So she is so tiny. I wish I could pull the kid in me card when rent's due. Every time you ask for this, you're asking the 12-year-old me, so no rent for you, right? Oh my God. I'm going to do that. Call the light company. I emailed you a picture of me when I was 2 years old. Would you ask a 2-year-old to pay the light bill? No, you wouldn't. You guys are horrible bullies. You're promoting child labor because you want me to go to work and make money to pay my bills. Would you tell that 2-year-old version of me that? Oh my God. I don't know. I'll have to say, I haven't played any music for the kittens outside because, you know, they've been kind of like skittish since they have, you know, they're feral kittens from feral parents, and I've been more so just trying to get them to like be calm and look, I'm calm. You don't have to be scared of me. I'm the nice lady that like feeds you twice a day and gives you toys and pets and stuff. So I purposely haven't played any music because I was like scared that they'd be all like, what the hell, and like run away or something. But if I ever get her inside, I'll play it for her and see how she responds. How does Drake view Akademiks? He just views him, Spirit saying, as like a trick and an easy pawn. Oh, all I have to do is give you a little bit of attention and you're going to go hard for me. You'll, you know, tell everybody I put out the greatest album and everybody needs to listen to it. You'll stop dragging somebody that I don't want you to talk bad about. You'll go after people that I don't like. So it's just like, he doesn't value him. Like, he feels like, oh, you're just like all the other thirsty ass hangers on when it comes to this industry, that, you know, you're willing to do anything for a little bit of clout and money. So it's just like, easy target. I can use you to however I want to. But when you think about it, a lot of these bloggers, and vloggers and streamers and whatever you call them, they're all like that. Armand Wiggins, Jason Flea, like, they all flip-flop because it's like, oh, well, Nikki never gave me an interview, but Carlos said she was going to. Carlos DM'd me, and then they all of a sudden hate Nikki and they're sucking Carlos's butt. And it's just like, that's all it took was for somebody that was kind of famous to DM you, and you completely turn on one person and go and start, like, sucking this person's asshole. I've had plenty of celebrities DM me. Like, I'm not going to go, like, fucking be all, oh my God, you guys, guess what? And start, like, hating on somebody. Like, you're very weak-minded and easily influenced if you're going to fall for that shit. So, let's see. Why does DJ Akademiks go after women so much? Does he have mommy issues? Not only does he have mommy issues, it's because Spirit's saying he's, just like all the rest of the incels. Oh, all these girls, curved me growing up. And so I just let it fester inside of me, and I started blaming all women and thinking all women are just these horrid bitches, because how couldn't they see the greatness that is Alvin and want all of this? Rather than looking back and being like, was I an annoying ass little twerp and that's why nobody wanted to fuck with me? Did I smell and I didn't have good hygiene and that's why girls didn't want to date me? What was the real reason? No, it's just girls' faults. They're all horrible. How dare you? And it's just, there's plenty of guys out there. Look at how many guys out there were like, yeah, I was a dork and nobody wanted to date me when I was younger. And they use that as motivation to, like, get good jobs and work out and, like, become the man that they wanted to be. But then there's the ones that just sit around and let it make them bitter, and then sit around and hate and talk all day long about it. So, and he knows deep down inside, especially, the women that he drags, even with what he has been able to build for himself, those women would still never touch him with a 10-foot pole. Sis is never gonna fucking suck your dick. Nikki's never gonna date you. And JT probably wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire and it burns your fucking asshole that you, like, did everything that you did, and they still wouldn't give you the time of day like that. So, it's the same thing with all those guys that sit around with microphones and want to tell women how they're supposed to be in order to get a man. Which, that's always just funny to me too. Like, I was thinking about that this morning, because I saw people trying to weaponize, well, you don't even have a man, against somebody in a comment section. And I was just thinking, do you realize that, like, some women are asexual? Some women are lesbians and would prefer to be with a woman anyways. Like, using the whole, you don't have a man, or you're only whole if you have a man thing does not work, because not every woman wants a man. And regardless, no matter what your sexual orientation is, some people are just really happy and content to be single. So you're not doing anything when you think you're, like, insulting somebody because, oh my God, you're single. It's like saying that they have leprosy or something to them. It's like, so? But that is such a pick-me thing to do too. And I hate when they think like, oh, well, you don't have a man, so you can't think that, the drama that's going on between Bluetooth and Croissant and Stewie, where you can't have an opinion on that because you're single. It's like, maybe some of us are single because we don't want to be in a situation like that. Like, what does that mean that we can't have an opinion on it because we're single? Like, it's just stupid shit I see constantly when people throwing that term around. But speaking of people who are single, and one of them seems to now be regretting it, Tyrese and his ex Samantha Lee. So I didn't even know that their divorce isn't even finalized yet. I thought it was, and that they were just fighting out custody or something. But anyways, isn't this also kind of funny because DJ Envy was sitting there saying that he was going to box Tyrese in the mouth. And now he's got to worry about the federal government popping him in the damn mouth. Like, that was a real quick turnaround on shut the fuck up. So, and listen, this is my whole thing, and I'm going to ask about this first before we really get into the, you know, Tyrese's other stuff, is, so they're acting like Tyrese was crossing some kind of line, you know, when he was talking to Gia Casey. First and foremost, outside of a pastor or a therapist, why are you having multiple conversations with another man outside of your family unit about your husband and your marriage anyways? Because this is 100% a big reason why people tell you to keep your relationship between you and your partner and you don't include other people. Because at some point in time, that man had so much access to you and to communicating with you that if he did cross a line, it's because you made him feel comfortable to do it, and you gave him the idea that it was okay. And I honestly feel like she was purposely doing that shit with no intentions of hooking up with Tyrese, but because it was making Envy feel bad. Oh, you wanted to cheat on me with Erica Mena, who's a fucking nobody. Well, look at this. Tyrese is in my messages. I was spending all morning texting back and forth with Tyrese and using him to make her husband jealous. So I don't want to see what the cards say, but that's just what I was feeling when that whole situation was happening. Because there's no reason that you need to be texting a single man about your marriage unless you're trying to hook up with that man. So imagine if Tyrese starts dating his wife after they divorce. I think Tyrese has had enough of like the circus. And I also think that it was pretty fucked up, you know, the way that he kept trying to tell Envy and Charlemagne, like, they put me on mental health meds, and not only was it my first time taking that because I'm not somebody that's used to even drinking and smoking weed, so it was gonna throw me off, but they gave me the wrong ones. And that's a real thing that happens with people. You know, if I had regular run-of-the-mill depression, I can't go take the same medications that somebody that has bipolar has, because it might have a negative effect on me and I might have a manic episode, just like the stuff that like might work for me isn't going to work for somebody else. Like that's why it's so hard for people when they are getting medically treated for mental health issues, because it's not a one size fits all thing, and it usually does take a few different, you know, treatments before they find the one that works for you. So, you know, but they were just sitting there like making fun of him and trying to like downplay like what he was saying, and it's just like, y'all claim to be these mental health advocates, but when anybody else has an issue with their mental, y'all take it and run with it and act like it's a fucking joke. And I mean, this is the thing. As much as people can say whatever about Tyrese, and again, I don't agree with everything that he says or does, but I also, when he was crying about his daughter on the internet, that wasn't funny to me. Like, it really made me cry as a parent, and I could just see, like, there is something so much deeper going on than this right now. And the way that people are making fun of it just never, like, I don't know, it just didn't feel good to me. Same way that, when Kanye complains about not having access to his kids, people act like, oh, well, he doesn't need to. Why do parents not need access to their children, and why is that funny to you? Especially when we sit here and we complain about all of the deadbeats and about how all these guys that don't do the right things for their kids, and then you have parents who are fighting to be in their child's life, and all of a sudden it's a fucking joke to you. And it's like, it's not funny though. And especially when they're doing what you're complaining that other people don't do, like, how is it suddenly funny? I just can't stand, like, the hypocrisy that I constantly see out there, whether it's in the industry or just people commenting on blogs or whatever. But I'm asking what's going on with the whole Tyrese and Gia situation first. Woo, child. Okay. Well, remember how they said that they had all these messages, right? Spirit's talking about, she very much went through and covered her ass and deleted some of the messages before she went to Envy and said, oh, look, Tyrese is trying to get at me like that. Because Spirit's talking about, oh, I was on the phone saying certain things to you on a phone call. Then I said, oh, I gotta go. I'll call you back. He continues the conversation over text. I responded to keep it going, deleted my part of the text messages, and then ran with my phone to my husband to go show him what was going on, because I was trying to start shit. I was trying to make him jealous. I was trying to make him look stupid. I was trying to pull a him on him. And she didn't care about the impact that it was going to have on Tyrese. And this is the thing that Spirit's saying, though. Tyrese wasn't really trying to get with her like that. It was more like the things he was saying, if you wanted to believe a certain narrative, you could definitely misconstrue it that way. But it was more like, oh, don't worry, other men would want you. I think you're pretty. I know a bunch of guys that I could hook you up with. Like, if you're, single, don't worry, it's not gonna be hard for you to find somebody else. But you're making it seem like I was saying, I want to date you. No, I was just saying, no, as a man, you're a beautiful woman. I could see how other men would want to date you. So she definitely was being extremely manipulative and twisting things and lying so that she could make her husband jealous and try to get back at him. And she has been playing that, oh my God, I can't believe it, Tyrese tried to get with me, narrative ever since. And this is the funny thing, is that Spirit's saying, Envy had all the opportunity in the world, because obviously all of y'all had each other's phone numbers, that you could have called that man right then and there and deaded it and said, hey, listen, whatever we got going on, you need to stay out of it. Like, we're done. There's no more calling my wife. There's no more her calling you. We're going to go to therapy. We're going to take care of it. But he never did that. He waits all these years, waits for him to come on the show, and then acts like Mr. fucking tough guy when you got him on your turf and you want to embarrass him and you want to fucking show off for the whole entire world. Because Spirit's saying he's ran into him over the years. Hey man, how's it going? And just kept fucking moving and didn't say shit. You never confronted him, and you wait until you're on the freaking internet to do it. Because Envy wanted attention, and he wanted, because he knew people are gonna listen to what Tyrese is saying about the mental health stuff and start poking fingers back at us and being like, yeah, that's right. Why are you picking on people with their mental health? So it was an easy way for him to twist things around and try to paint Tyrese out to be the bad guy so people wouldn't hold him accountable for the shit that he did. So it's, oh, well, before you can get too deep into that, let's talk about how you fucking tried to sleep with my wife. And Spirit's saying he's real freaking lucky because Tyrese could have ran across that damn room and dragged him. But Tyrese tried to have a conversation with him like a man and clear it up. And DJ Envy was acting like a little bitch. So, but it's just been manipulation from both Gia and Envy. And trying to make Tyrese out to be the bad guy rather than we fucked up. We were in a fucked up place. We were both playing fucking stupid games, trying to make each other jealous. And we shouldn't have been doing that. I mean, it didn't even need to have been brought up if you think about it. But it was just, you know, obviously Envy tried to throw him under the bus to cover up what was really, you know, the real issue. So Tyrese definitely would have mopped the fucking floor with Envy. Envy does not seem like he's one of those people that can fight whatsoever. He seems like he's a real tough talker and a real cop caller. Just like Off Cheat. I'm going to talk some shit. I'm going to get you all riled up. And then when you want to call me out and say, let's go, then I'm going to go run and start calling for security and calling the police on you and not wanting to actually, like, fight you. So, he is Drake long lost brother. He reminds me of the hall monitor kid from Recess. So that's what happened with that. Envy kind of looks like Degrassi Drake, not gonna lie. And like I said, there's plenty of shit that Tyrese does that I don't agree with. But I do not think he's a horrible person or all bad. And I don't think that he was the wrong person in that situation. Because again, you opened that door. You were texting him. You were calling him. You know, and when he said, like, did you guys hear the whole thing too? Because what Tyrese said was that he called Envy first. And was like, what's going on? And the Envy was crying to him that he was going to lose his family. And he basically, like, Envy's the one that dragged Tyrese into it and was like, oh, yeah, talk to my wife. So y'all are both the ones that dragged this man into it. He was just trying to be cool with one of you. And then you both invited him in. And then you throw him under the bus. And this is proof, too, why we don't get in the middle of people's relationship situations. Your girlfriend wants to sit there and be like, oh, my God, my boyfriend cheated on me, and da, la, 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 la. what are you going to do about it? Because if you're going to get back together with him, I ain't going to say jack shit. Because then when y'all get back together and then you tell him, Bella said that you're a dick and I should never talk to you again because you cheated on me, then guess what? Now it's going to be your boyfriend's mission to get rid of me as your friend because I am a threat to the relationship because I said something negative about him when he did something that deserved the name calling. And then I'm the one that's going to end up being the bad guy. So that's why, no, leave me out of your shit. I'm not involved. I mean, obviously as a reader, that's different, but I'm talking about friends in real life. Like, nope, don't come to me about it. Leave me out of it. I'm not getting involved. Whatever you want to do, I'll support you, and I'm going to keep my mouth shut and my opinions to myself. Because people always go running back after they complained and complained and complained, and then you're the bad guy. And on the flip side of that, when you're the person in the relationship, don't go complaining about your partner to everybody else because you're gonna get over it. And then you're gonna be crying that your mom doesn't want you to marry this guy and you don't understand why she can't just let it go and like accept him into the family. And it's like, because you kept telling your mom that this man was mistreating her child. How do you think as a mom she's gonna feel about that? Yeah, I wouldn't fucking like somebody either if my kid kept coming and telling me that that person was fighting with them, cheating on them, being mean to them. So just, that's why we don't tell people shit and keep it between us. No, Lindsay. So, Miss Samantha Lee has now gone on podcasts doing interviews and saying that if she had different people in her life and in her ear, that she would have worked on her marriage and she wouldn't have left it. After Tyrese has publicly said over and over that she blindsided him with the divorce and never gave him a real reason why, and then was just fighting him for money in court, and that it made it seem to him like she only ever married him to try to get money out of him. And now, you know, he's the love of her life and she should have worked it out, and she's blaming it on her friends. Again, if you are that weak-minded, though, that the people around you can make you get a divorce, you need to be in therapy. And you need to explore why those people felt comfortable enough to have an insight into your relationship to even think that they could influence you into leaving that man. And you also need to wonder why you needed a group of people to influence you to leave your marriage, and why that was not a decision that you could make on your own. Just saying. You're heartless. Tyrese's videos are so dramatic. I love it. Well, honestly, I mean, the more and more that we just see that the truth is coming out, doesn't he look less and less like the bad guy in all these situations, though? I mean, I don't think it was cool for you to shave your girlfriend's cooter on Instagram Live, but I definitely think he was doing that on purpose, trying to, you know, get back at his ex. But as far as all the other stuff that he's been saying, I don't think he's entirely wrong. Like, it seems like people keep validating his points or showing their own ass, you know, to where we're like, well, maybe Tyrese wasn't wrong about that, seeing as that now they're saying XYZ or this or that thing happened. So it definitely feels like everybody around him was gaslighting him and taking advantage of the fact that they knew he was dealing with mental health issues. Which, that alone, you know, when you think about it too, she was with him while he was going through his mental health issues. She chose to continue to date this man, then marry him, and then produce a child with him, knowing what he had been through in his whole situation. And then you choose to rip the rug out from under him, and he comes home and the whole house is packed up and you're gone and filing for divorce. I mean, it kind of gives credence to the whole where he thinks that you never cared about him, because to be honest with you, I wouldn't think somebody gave a fuck about me either if they did that. So I mean, this is crazy though. No love cards come up. She was using him, you guys. She was definitely using him. She was cheating on him too. Okay. She used his issues against him constantly. Spirit saying this was a very toxic relationship. Isn't she a mental health professional? Or she'd gone to school for it or something. Like, I remember people saying something like that about her before. Because it's talking about, I have an understanding of people when they're in these types of situations, and I use that to my advantage at times to get my way with him, whether it was to win a fight or to manipulate him or to use something against him. But it's like all the knowledge, all the things that I knew, I would use to my advantage against this man. And I knew that he loved me, so I could get what I wanted out of him. So, because the whole thing that's coming up about, you know, them getting married in the first place, it's just money cards everywhere. She thought she hit the jackpot. You know, what did 50 Cent say? Have a baby by me, be a millionaire. Like, she was, you know, going that route. And then it was like, okay, I got the kid. I established enough. I'll be able to, you know, get a pretty penny out of this situation. I have somebody else that I like more. Because she was fucking cheating. And she felt like the guy that she was cheating with was the love of her life. And that situation did not work out the way that she wanted it to. And that's why now she's up here crying on podcasts saying, I wouldn't have divorced my husband if I had other people around me. Because she wants back in on the gravy train. Because the guy that she was cheating with, she thought he had money. She thought he was going to treat her like a princess. And Spirit saying he really only wanted her ass for the excitement of, oh, look it, I'm getting this girl to cheat on her fancy, rich celebrity husband with me. Because it was kind of like, you know, an investment banker type of a guy. Like, you know, you're a civilian, but you got some money, but you don't have celebrity money. And, you know, once they weren't sneaking around anymore and she wanted to be with him full time, it was like, oh, no, I didn't want that. I was enjoying hanging out with you when we both felt like it, or you could sneak off, but like, I don't want you to be my full-time girlfriend. And of course, Tyrese keeps fighting all of the, you know, custody and child support, alimony, you know, orders in court and stuff. So she feels like, okay, well, that's obviously a threat too, because regardless, if he gets the right judge and he can go in there and say, look, I don't make that much fucking money. Y'all can't be making me pay this much. This is ridiculous. The judge is gonna be like, yeah, you're right. It is ridiculous. Let's lower it. And then what's gonna happen to her? She's gonna end up like Chris Brown's baby mama that gets $2,500 a month. Because you thought you were being slick having a baby by a celebrity. So she's just trying to get back on the gravy train. She is trying to manipulate him. She is trying to manipulate the situation. She did not leave him because of her friends. She really meant, I left him for another man and that man didn't stick around. And if I had known that, I wouldn't have left when I did. That's what she really fucking meant. But she let it seem like she let all of her single girlfriends influence her into being single too. But this is 100% about manipulation to try to secure your financial status. Is he? I don't know. I have to. I have to look. Well, they're always going back and forth to court fighting over. Oh, I think you're talking about Chris Brown. Yeah, but I mean, that was the thing though. At the time, Chris Brown's baby mama thought like, oh, like I had a baby with a rich guy. And remember, the judge only gave her $2,500 a month and said that she had to get a job and that she couldn't depend on Chris to provide for her lifestyle and her other kids that were not his children's lifestyle, that his child support was just supposed to be for their daughter. And, you know, sometimes you do get a judge who's willing to take that stance. It is always a risk when you have to go back and forth to court with these people. So that was comical at that point. I remember that whole thing going down. That was crazy. That was back when like the Shade Room used to mostly be on Facebook and people weren't like really blogging on Instagram yet. Because I remember like always going and like looking at the gossip pages on Facebook and kind of like keeping tabs on that whole situation because people all had all different kinds of opinions on that. So let's see. Is Tyrese going to give Samantha Lee another chance? Thank you. And she purposely put it out in the public like that because Spirit's saying she knew that if she just went to him and was like, let's get back together, he'd be like, bitch, get the fuck out of my face. So she really thought that if she sat up there and looked really contrite and sad and like, oh my God, I've made so many realizations this year, that he would be like so moved by seeing her admit to the world that she made a mistake that then he'd text her and be like, come home, I miss you. Yeah, I remember that too. That whole, oh, it's, you know, because of what happened with him and Karrueche and Rihanna, that was like his payback. Listen, you gotta give Chris credit though, because that kid was like almost a year old before he found out that she was even his, because baby mama was claiming it was the boyfriend's. And he immediately, you know, regardless of whatever the child support issue was, he immediately stepped up and took responsibility and played dad once it was confirmed that that was his kid. He didn't continue to, you know, he could have pulled a trash can Thompson and said, oh, I'm going to take care of my kid, and then never fucking do, like Trash Can has. So Tyrese is so much happier in his life, even though this girl does give him all the stress in the world with all the back and forth with court and everything else that happens. Spirit saying it's like, you know, once the dust settles and he got to have a little bit more distance from that situation, because it was the shock and you blindsided me, and I really did think that no matter what happened between the two of us, we would sit down together and try to work things out, and that nobody would just up and move out when the other person, you know, was away at work or something. Once he was past all of that, it's like he really started to think of that woman as the devil. Like, literally, the devil comes up as how he views her and whether or not he would ever want to go back with her again. Because you know how it is for a lot of people. When you're in a bad relationship, you may know it's bad, but even at that, it's like you have to shield yourself from a lot of even focusing on what is really truly wrong in this situation. Because if you do sit there and really think about, okay, last Tuesday when they told me I was fat and ugly, like, it would just make things worse. So it's not until you're completely out of it and away from it that then you can be like, damn, this person called me fat and ugly every single Tuesday. They were so damn toxic, and I can't believe how much I was blocking out just trying to survive in that situation. And Spirit saying he definitely knows that she cheated on him, and who with. He's holding on to that. That is his secret weapon that's in his back pocket. Keep fucking with me, and I will tell the world that you were sleeping around behind my back. Because I've had about enough. And I've not been saying things out of respect, because we do have a child together. And so there is still that line that I'm trying not to cross. But if you push me hard enough, we will get there. So Tyrese has another marriage and more kids in his future. I don't necessarily get that it's with the girl he's with right now. I don't think she's 100% a rebound. I think that she probably started off that way, and then, you know, over time they've grown closer. But Spirit is saying there's a lot of things where he does feel like she's a little immature, or doesn't really 100% like, you know, isn't on the same page as him. And so I do get that at some point, you know, they'll grow apart because of that, and he will end up with somebody that's a little more age appropriate and a little more on the same maturity level that he is. But she's good for him for right now. Like, she really isn't a bad person. She's not horrible. She's good for him right now, is the way that Spirit keeps talking about it. But he definitely does have another marriage and more kids coming. And I do get that, you know, that will be the happy family situation that he really has been seeking. Because Spirit's saying he really does want a peaceful, stable family life. That's something that he very much craves. And he hasn't gotten to experience 100% yet. He needs to be careful with her, though, because this lady is so vindictive and so manipulative. that Spirit is saying, you know, the more and more that she sees, he's never going to come back to me and give me that other chance. And I do feel at some point Tyrese is going to win his case and get that child support and alimony and everything lowered way the fuck down. And she is going to be so incredibly pissed off about that. There is the possibility that she would try to set him up to get in a big argument while he's like picking up or dropping off the kid. And she would call the police on him, claiming that it was much more than just the verbal disagreement that Spirit's saying it would be in order to try to get his ass locked up. So Tyrese needs to make sure that they only pick the pickups and drop-offs. You hire a nanny who goes and does it, or you do it at the police station. But he needs to never be alone with her or in any type of situation where she could set him up like that. He always needs to bring somebody that has his back. Like, don't even trust, like, her cousin is there. She will get her cousin to lie for her. You need to always bring your own person if you're going to be the one that's ever going to have to deal with her face to face. So that you always have a witness and somebody in your corner. Because this girl is bad news. Real bad news. That's the funny thing, too. She's looking for another celebrity person to attach herself to. But Spirit's saying it's like, she kind of hit the jackpot that Tyrese was even willing to, like, date her, be with her, because she's not somebody that, like, celebrity men would be lined up around the block to date. Because, you know, sometimes, like, you know, you have the, like, rapper or artist baby mama, and then it's like they break up and then everybody else keeps like dating that girl, and it's just like, there's other women, why y'all dating that guy's ex? That's not gonna happen for her. She's not in those spaces, she's around in those circles, she's not really all those guys types. Because Spirit's saying if she could, she would go set up somebody like a baseball player or a basketball player and like, oh, let me make sure that I have a fling with you, and then get pregnant and then have another kid, and like hopefully I'll get child support out of you. Trash Can better watch it though, because I feel like he's the one that could get caught up in that shit, because he'll hook up with anything. But so Trash Can Thompson, I know I predicted that you were going to have another side baby anyways. If you see Samantha Lee, run like hell. Run like hell and get a vasectomy, okay? You supposedly froze all your sperm anyways so that you and Chloe could make embryos. So, like, you banked enough. Freeze a little more. Get a vasectomy, dude. And stay the hell away from Tyrese's ex-wife. So, do we got any questions about this situation? Oh my God, every dog has its day. I'm so sorry. That is horrible. Nobody wants her. I had to look her up because I still don't know who she is. And this is the sad thing. Tyrese probably thought because she's a regular girl, you know, and oh, she's a psychologist or whatever, social worker, like, she's definitely going to, you know, it'll be a better relationship than me trying to date another celebrity, and she'll have all this emotional awareness and intelligence. Like, well, you know, we won't have these horrible fights and we'll be able to get through things. And she's going to be super supportive and understanding of me. And it was like the exact opposite is what he got out of that situation. But then again, Listen, I'm a huge proponent of therapy and things like that, but not all therapists are great people. Whitney was the person who had Whitney, abused her, and then abandoned her was a therapist too. And I'm not kidding when I say this lady fully admitted to me everything that she did to her. So she's cute, but she's not like, oh my God, look what a baddie you are. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna be like putting her in those same types of categories. So it's like, oh yeah, everybody's gonna want to be with that girl or whatever. Be specific, he might run in her direction. He isn't the brightest. It's trash can. I mean, we should never have too high of an expectation for him. Oh, you're welcome, Teddy. As someone who is studying psychology, most people who pick this major aren't the most mentally stable, right? If you guys have a question, put question in front of it. I gotta start wrapping it up because I have clients that I need to get to. But we will be back again Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. If you want daily content from me, you can join us on patreon.com/psychicbellalove. That is the only place that I accept any types of requests for celebrity video readings. And if you want your own personal reading, you can go to psychicbellalove.com. So his new girlfriend is very pretty. Thank you for posting the links, Lindsay. Yes, and you can also find me on Instagram.com/psychicbellalove. The picture is me and Kanye in a little heart shape. I'll change it soon. I just did that to, since La Caldi, or Caldo de Pollo as we're calling her, wanted to start shit with Kanye. And threaten him. I was like, well, Kanye's my favorite living artist anyways. Time to make him part of my profile pictures. What will Tyrese's new woman be like? I don't feel like it's going to be another celebrity. I mean, this is the thing that Spirit's saying is Tyrese purposely doesn't like to date other celebrities because he wants to have a personal life. And it's like, if I date Monica or Brandy or Tamar Braxton or whoever, you know, it's like, then there's two celebrities, so there's twice as much interest in the relationship. So then people, you know, the paparazzi is going to hound us. The blogs are going to constantly talk about us. So it's like, when I date somebody who's a non-celebrity, I can go home and have that normal life and not have photographers outside of my house trying to see what me and Monica got up to today. But then I can use my celebrity when I need to bring attention to certain projects and things like that. So he always wants to kind of, you know, have a bit of balance in his life that way. So I do feel like it's somebody that's going to be more, you know, down to earth, non-celebrity type of a person. She's gonna be still pretty though, and I mean she'll still be slightly younger than him because I do see them having more kids, but not on like a crazy age gap like he has with the current girlfriend. So, but that's the end of the questions, guys. I have a whole note too in my phone for the description. I keep forgetting because I set up the live so fast sometimes because I'm so busy that I forget to update the description box sometimes. I need to take a few minutes today or tomorrow and do that. But I do have a note in my phone with those. I also have a whole note in my phone with all the like instructions to like get to my house, like when I'm getting deliveries. Because it is so confusing. When you come in my complex, every building looks exactly the same. They're all the same colors. We don't have like building numbers or names or anything like that. It's just the unit numbers. And literally, like, the building itself will face out into the parking lot, but like all our doors are on the side, and that is the only place that like the numbers are marked. There's not even signs out front saying, oh, you know, this building numbers 100 to 120 even. None of that. So like, you know, me and my neighbor used to say that like a sadomasochist who hates delivery people like designed this place, because or that hates people who get things delivered, because it's a mess. So I just have my little note thing so I don't have to keep retyping it. So every time I get like Postmates or grocery delivery, like I'm just like copy paste back into the app for the new delivery person. Dude, there's a reason why you will never catch me doing DoorDash or anything like that. I hate trying to find places. I'm not the best at it. And I would probably have 195 mental breakdowns trying to find people's places, knowing they're stressed out and waiting for me to get there, and that like me getting paid depends on that. Like, it would not be a good experience. So I'm just like, nope, we're not even gonna try that. Listen, we love our mods. We appreciate you guys so much. So you guys all bring a lot to the table. I don't know. I mean, these places were built in like 1980 or something. So they were either built like right before I was born or like when I was a few years old. I forget. So it was just like, maybe, I have no idea. Maybe it was like a pizza delivery person in the 70s slept with their wife and they just carried that grudge around. So when it was time for them to start designing condominium complexes, they were like, you know what? I also feel like whoever designed this place also assumed that only like divorced dads were going to live here, or single men with roommates, because the closets in the primary bedroom are like so small, but the secondary bedroom, the closets are humongous. Just like the bathroom in the primary bedroom is tiny. There's like nowhere for kids to play, but there's a gym and tennis courts. Like, it's just really like, yeah, somebody really thought like a bunch of like newly divorced dads in like 1985 were gonna be like super psyched to live over here or something. So, but we have all the cats outside to keep us entertained. Like, that's the fun of living over here, is all the kitty drama. So, but thank you to my mods. Thank you to everybody who shows up and rocks with us on these lives. And thank you so much to the replay crew. And if you have not already, make sure you like the live on the way out. It is a free way to support me and my channel, and it helps us show up in the algorithm. If you are not already, make sure you are subscribed. I do lives twice a week. And I will see everybody on Thursday. In the meantime, remember, you do deserve happiness. You deserve healing. You deserve peace. You deserve love. And you deserve abundance. Remind yourself of that and repeat it to yourself until you believe it. That is the number one thing that gets in people's ways when they are manifesting, is that we don't believe that we deserve the thing that we are asking for. And that is why it is believe is a big part. Ask, believe, you shall receive, and always look for chances to make the world a little bit of a better place by trying to be kind or give back in some way to help others. So, all right, guys, I love you all so much. I will see you on Thursday. Bye.